You're listening to Easy Travels, an original podcast from Next Travel Group.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Easy Travels podcast, brought to you by the fine people at Next Travel Group. My name is Chris, and with me, as always, is truly one of the finest people here at Next. Martin Mussey's his name. Business coaching is his game. Martin, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, Chris. Thanks for that. And always a great introduction. But hey, you know what? As we've said in the past, this is not about us. It is about our guests that are joining us. And we have another great guest joining us today. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to Vicki Freed with Royal Caribbean International. How are you, Vicki?
Very well, thank you. Hi, Chris. Hi, Martin. Thank you again for having me on this podcast.
Absolutely. We are so glad that you could join us. I know that you're no stranger to the travel advisor community. So, what I thought I would do is ask you first, could you tell us your role at Royal Caribbean Cruises?
Thank you. My official title is Senior Vice President of Sales, Trade Support, and Service. At the end of the day, I like to refer to myself as the best friend to the travel advisors. I am here to always support them and help them with their business and also with their clients.
That's awesome. And by the way, as a best friend to the travel advisor, I happen to know that you also have some podcast game as well, that you do a very popular coffee chat. Tell us about that and its origins.
Well, I do a coffee chat. It's once a month now on Wednesdays, and then prior to the once a month, it was once a week, and it started during COVID, and it lasted until we got out of the pandemic, and then I just continued it, and I get between 3 and 4 thousand people each time I do a coffee talk. It's a lot of fun, and it's people still want to listen. I don't know why, but they do,
Right.
and we all drink a lot of caffeine together.
Well, that's, not a bad thing. One, to want to gather and to be able to hear from you as well. With that, let me turn it over to Chris. I know he's got a question for you.
Yeah. So, Vicky, we work with a lot of different cruise lines here, but I wanted to ask, what's one thing that stands out about Royal Caribbean Cruises specifically that our listeners might want to know?
Oh, the great question, because every cruise is a great cruise, but what makes Royal stand out from everybody else is, first of all, it's our ships. Our ships are very unique. They're very innovative. But if I had to just sum it up in a soundbite, in a sentence, we are the unique combination of quality and energy combined. So there are lots of beautiful quality lines out there. We own a few in our corporation, and there are lines that also have energy, but nobody has that unique combination of quality and energy married together.
I love that quality energy. Matter of fact, I have felt it. You know what? I've been on many a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and I have actually enjoyed really how it feels like home, but it's new each time I step onto one of your ships. Um, I have to imagine that's by design. What is behind that, and how does that translate to the traveling public out there?
Well, and that when people come on our ships, especially the first timers, they come on and they are like looking up, and it's so much fun to watch them. They walk on board, they look up, and they're like, wow, how does somebody build a ship so innovative and so amazing? And our ships are beautifully designed with lots of options, lots of activities, lots of entertainment. And so it really puts us into a category of one because there isn't a Me Too product other than our own Me Too products within our fleet to the Royal Caribbean experience.
Um, yeah, very good. Now, I have to ask you, you've been on, I know, many a ship. What is one of your favorite spaces or places on a Royal Caribbean ship?
That's a tough question because that's like saying, "What's my favorite child? Who's my
Right?
favorite?" I have to say, I love just the experience of seeing so much when I'm on Royal Caribbean ships, whether it's the entertainment, and we certainly have world-class entertainment. We continue to win awards for the best entertainment at sea, because of the way we present the entertainment. We have, of course, big Broadway musicals. We have big shows in the theater. But we have aerial shows in the air, we have water shows in the Aqua Theater, Aquadome, and we also have an ice skating rink where we do magnificent ice shows. And so nobody comes close to owning entertainment like Royal Caribbean. And then of course, I love all the fine dining. There's so many options. And, the one complaint we get on our ship is that people couldn't do it all in a week. They just couldn't experience all the entertainment and all the dining options and all the activities. And I guess that's a good complaint to have.
Oh, for sure. When you talked about it being quality and energy, one of my favorite spaces on certain classes of your ships is the Central Park area. Because when you need a little break from that energy, that's a perfect, nice little quiet zone to Zen zone to be in. I do love that space.
Yeah, Central
Um,
Park is a very popular area and it's in the middle of the ship. It's a real park and we have real trees and plants and even the sounds of birds, even though there are no birds on the ship, but we do hear the birds chirping. And at night, it's a beautiful place to explore and walk in the park and listen to either jazz music or a pianist or not a pianist, a guitarist. And it's just a lovely, lovely area.
Sounds nice. Vicky, this next question gives us some insight. So we like to ask each of our partner guests this, but we always like to say that the travel business is a relationship business. First and foremost, so what does that mean to you and to everyone at Royal?
Well, that is the truest statement. People like to do business with people they trust, and we have earned the trust almost 60 years in business. And it is a relationship business because, every once in a while something might go bump in the night and you have a speed bump and you need help. And we're always there to help our travel partners and help the consumer. And we just really care a lot about the people who come on board our ships and the people who sell our product.
Amazing. So now, Vicky, I've had the opportunity to see you speak at a number of conferences. I have even played pickleball with you on board, but I can't pretend to know the answer to this question I'm about to ask you. What is it that you like doing when you're not working hard at Royal Caribbean?
Well, you just said it. I like pickleball. I'm not as good as people think I am, but I always pick a good partner at Royal Caribbean to be my partner, and we have a lot of fun on board the ships. But I like to, exercise. I like to be with my friends. I like to be with my husband. I like to be with my kids. I play cards. During the pandemic, I learned how to play canasta, so I'm sort of addicted to that. I have a girls group that we play on Saturdays, and I like to travel, and I think travel is really my best hobby.
I love that. Um, so how do you make sure you're taking time for travel? I mean, to go to the places you want to do versus where you have to go.
That and I do travel a lot for my job,
Yeah.
but I make sure that I take advantage of really seeing the world. And I just recently went on a Silver Sea cruise. It was a 13-night cruise. I took 43 of my
Wow.
friends and neighbors in my neighborhood. And I have to say we're all friends still, and nobody put their house up for sale. And now we're planning a group for next summer, the same group of people, but it's probably going to wind up being 80 people. And there's a little bit of drama when you go with your neighborhood and your friends, but even through all the drama, we all had a great time.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Sounds amazing. And I should say, in my time also, I've been fortunate enough to be on a couple of different Royal cruises now, and I've had a blast both times. But it's been a while, and so I wanted to ask, what do you think has changed or evolved about the brand and its culture from your perspective in the time that you've been with Royal Caribbean?
I think we keep kind of upping the bar and upping the ante, and how can we outwow ourselves? So whether it's our Broadway musicals like Wizard of Oz, and we just have on the brand new ship, The Legend of the Seas, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and we have Saturday Night Fever. We have a ton of Broadway musicals that are Hairspray. It's also our commitment to live music. All of our shows have live orchestras. We do not use taped music. But I think we've evolved with activities. So we have dueling piano bars where people love that and they sing and they're, really engaged. We have game shows like Price is Right. And it's a real game show and people win real money, real prizes. In fact, we've actually given away over three cars have been given away through the Price
Wow.
is Right. Now we don't have the cars on the ship in the stage, or on the stage, but we do, we have the cars delivered to their homes, and it is a lot of fun. People love it. It's held in the theater because there's that much interest in The Price is Right, and it's sort of like today's version of bingo. Now, of course, we still have bingo, but, bingo was a cruise ship kind of game that everybody played years ago, but now it's The Price is Right and other games that we do on board.
Well, that ranks right up there with your summation of quality and energy. That's amazing. As you were talking about the cars, that you're giving away 3 cars. I'm like, "Oh, they're not the ones in the promenade, you're not giving those away?"
No, but we do it you're right on that one. We do have cars in the promenade, and it just shows you how large these
Right?
open spaces are that we actually have cars there.
Yeah. Um, so I work with travel advisors on building their businesses, and you know what? One key is finding a good partner like you. What's one piece of advice you would give advisors on how best to partner with Royal Caribbean?
I think the best way to partner with Royal Caribbean, and there's so many ways. We have online learning tools. We have so many ways for the travel advisors to get educated about Royal Caribbean. But the best way, in my view, is to contact their local strategic account manager, which is somebody that we have in the field, in their communities, to help them grow their business. If somebody is working full time and really doesn't have the energy or the time to meet with somebody locally, they can just deal with an inside salesperson on the phone. So we kind of work with people the way in which they want to be, supported.
Fantastic. Thank you. Now, Chris has a final question for you and hope you're prepared for this.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so we always like to ask these fun little surprise questions at the end, just so we can get a little bit of insight into you, you, Vicky, our wonderful guest. So, as someone who has worked in the travel industry and the cruising industry for a long time, what I would like to know from you is if you could take a Royal Caribbean ship on a cruise, if you could take a cruise to any fictional location that you've ever heard of, and I mean, your imagination is the limit here. It's a hypothetical question. So this can be in outer space, it can be in another dimension, doesn't have to be on planet Earth. But if you could take a Royal Caribbean cruise to any fantasy location that you've ever dreamed of or ever heard of, where would it be? Where would we be going?
Oh, wow. Well, I love to shop, so it'd have to be to the world's best shopping venues, which has the best sales going on, and I guess it would be like a Dubai on steroids.
Dubai on steroids. I would definitely like to go there.
I love that. I love that idea. Oh man, fantastic. Well, thank you, Vicky, so much for being with us today on the podcast. And we really appreciate it. We know that you have a busy schedule, so we thank you so much for being on.
Well, thanks again for the opportunity, and I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, take us to the close.
Yes. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Martin. And from all of us at Next Travel Group to all of you listening, as always, until next time, easy travels.
Easy travels, everyone.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us your thoughts or even show topic ideas in the comments of this episode or email us at communications@nexion.com.